Hello, Truth Me Free, you guys. I am late because I'm having one of those days. I did not sleep at all last night, so I am in a total daze. I feel like I have jet lag, like my brain is completely foggy. I forgot my phone at the RV. I arrived to this location to go live, and then I look up for the first time and notice I don't have a phone. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's okay. We're going to be successful anyways as we give the item list that I have for you. That is almost, I would say like 70% of like your carry with you when you actually go out to the woods to survive kind of thing. So this is out in the woods to survive, not probably anywhere else. You're gonna need trees and stuff. Like if you're in the desert like me, this is not a good bag. I wonder how long that light's been on. Anyways, all right. So good to see you guys. Thank you for logging on. All right, the first item is actually not something that you would carry with you on this, but I wanted to point it out anyways because of the COVID thing, and you guys should look into it. This is a nebulizer. I wish I could put the thing right, but a nebulizer. I'll leave it on the screen long enough for people to write it down. Just write it backwards, obviously. This is really, really important, you guys. If you actually got sick, if there's any kind of disease or germs or flus or colds in the future, this can be an absolute game changer. I'll actually send you a link to a doctor who breaks down how to use this if you get COVID and all that other kind of stuff. Really, really, really important device. It's more of a stay-at-home, or it's more like if you have an automobile with you, or a camper or RV or something like that. It's not a backpack go and survive in the middle of the woods thing, but it's for like more of like right now everybody should have this. So I wanted to start off with this. I will send the doctor link that tells you how to use it, what vitamins to use, and all that kind of stuff. So nebulizer, very, very important, like legit important. All right. First thing on the list of the things that I think you should have with you if you are actually doing what's called bugging out. And this again is specifically like survival camping stuff, bushcraft stuff, okay? So, this is so awesome. I love what I'm about to show you right now. I love this thing. Okay, so this, 135 varieties plus 9 free varieties of tomato varieties. Okay, so this is, so it's backwards for you. I really wish I wasn't shooting in selfie mode. It's called Survival Essentials, and they are premium heirloom seeds. And this I got off I think I got it off of Amazon actually, and it wasn't that expensive. It was like 30 bucks or something like this, and you get, I think it's something like, this particular one is something like 50,000 seeds or some 25,000 seeds or something crazy. So each seed type of food will come in something that looks like this. It's a packet of multiple seeds. So it looks like it's one, but there's a whole bunch of little packets you can kind of see, right? So there's all these little packets, right? And that's really important because you don't want to obviously use all your seeds in case your crop goes bad, your crop doesn't even make it to bloom, so that you don't have the ability to replenish your seeds. And that is absolutely a possibility. So you want to make sure that whatever your seeds are, you don't use up all your seeds, just in case something happens to your crop. Fire, bugs, whatever. But yeah, so tons of seeds, like every kind of food that you could possibly imagine that you can grow. I don't think avocado is obviously in here because that seed would take up everything, but that's the only seed I probably would add, that and a banana. Do seeds last a long time? Yeah, as long as you keep them, they should last a long time. But if you buy them now, you shouldn't have a problem. Like if you have seeds that you've had for a very long time, certain seeds will last literally for like ever. It's kind of crazy. But certain seeds, they will over dry out and then like the life in them will die. But other seeds, they won't. I couldn't tell you which ones do that. But if you get this anytime in the near future, you'll be fine. So good question there, Vicky Richardson. Thanks for asking that. All right. Kane, I saw your question. It's not a fast answer, and this is going to be probably a little bit longer video than I even intended. So let's just stay on this topic, and then I'll make another video of that topic. But the seeds, you guys, is absolutely number one. It's not that big. Try to show you my hand. It's not that big of a box. And like I said, 25,000 seeds. Like, you should absolutely have this, you guys. You should be getting this. Like I said, like 25 bucks, 30 bucks on Amazon. How do you preserve your own seeds? Just let them dry out. Put them in a paper towel, or put them on like a window seal. Let your seeds dry out, and then just put them in a baggie so they stay fresh. All right. What is next? What should I do next? All right. Next is honestly, it's like the most important thing, I would say, other than the seeds and water, bottle, and fire stuff. But it's like it's one of the 10 must-haves. Okay, this is an absolute must-have. Like, if you're in a survival situation and you have trees around you, again, this won't work for the desert, but an axe. This particular axe is the only axe that I could like genuinely stand behind, you guys. It's a Gransford Brook axe, and it is handmade in Sweden. It is Swedish steel, and it is absolutely, in the bushcraft survival world, it is the Rolls Royce of axes. Like, this one is called the Forest Axe, and as you can see, it's 22 inches long. It's just big enough that if you needed to take down a good tree, it would take you a while. Your arms would definitely be hurting, but it will take down most trees that are about the thickness of a human leg or shin or thigh or like, you know, an arm kind of deal. About that thickness, this is perfect for. And that's what you need for like shelter building, firewood, things like that. Now, it's not the kind of axe where it's called like a failing axe or falling axe, where it's for actually chopping down trees and chopping wood. It's going to be designed differently. You'll see how thick this one is. This will split wood based upon the shape. It does split wood very well. I'll take the sheath off so you can actually see what I'm talking about here. You can see that it has a very long a blade here on the axe blade, and then it gets thicker here. Well, that obviously is not just for strength, but the design of this, if you had like a failing axe, one that was specifically designed for like chopping down a tree or chopping wood specifically, it's going to have more of a triangle shape, and it just splits the wood easier for you. This one will get caught often. You'll have to kind of peel it apart, and that's something when I actually get out to the woods one day with my other videos, I'll show you what I mean by all that. And some of you already know, but yeah, you definitely want a sheath. It comes with the sheath. It doesn't come with this neck guard. And this neck guard is actually really important, especially if you're in a survival situation, because the thing that people don't realize is that you will miss with your axe. You'll swing, it'll bounce off, and then you'll hit whatever the tree or the wood or whatever it is that you're chopping down. It will hit your axe right here. And what it will do is it will start to splinter the wood, the handle of the axe. And so what this sheath does is it causes it so that when you miss, it doesn't start chipping away at your axe handle, which will keep your axe handle strong. And then obviously, if you're in a survival situation, you can take this one even after it gets beat up. You can take a look at how it was made, and I'm going to show you what you'll have, the things you need in real life with you in the circumstance to remake the sheath, because you'll have the ability to use animal skins and make this. It's very, 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 very simple. You just put holes in a piece of leather, wrap it around the neck, take another piece of leather that you turn into a string, and put it through like a shoelace. So you'll be able to remake this, is what I'm saying. So you definitely want to have one from the get-go, though, especially if you're a beginner user of an axe. You'll be surprised. You will miss. You'll hit your thing. You'll hit your board here and your handle here, and you'll start to chip away at it. So Gransford Brook axe, I will send a link to these guys. Hands down, bar none, the absolute best company. Now, they have other axes. They have little hatchets that literally takes up like just the size of your hand. Really good for like woodworking, whittling. It's almost like a replacement for a knife, but nothing is really a replacement for a knife, just as nothing is truly a replacement for an axe. And they have big ones too for like failing trees and stuff. So You decide which one is best for you. If you know you're gonna bug out with an automobile, or you know you're if you know you're gonna have like an RV or a camper or something, like you're gonna be able to store like tools with you, then I would say get one of these and get a big like tree felling axe, like a second one, and just keep that one for like only when you need to cut down for some reason like a huge massive tree. Now there's an old saying, have the right tool for the right job, right? And the next thing I'm going to show you following the axe, hold on, where is it? Did I forget it? No, I didn't forget it. Where is it? Oh, okay. This is how we do it, guys. Improv, improv, improv. All right, first, before I go on to the next item, here's a second type of axe. This axe is like $15 at what we have here in America called Home Depot. This axe can absolutely be found anywhere on the internet. It is I think it's called a wing, west wing or something like that. East wing, EST wing. This thing is famous. This is a famous axe because it is like the workhorse of just like, if you need an axe that you just want to beat the crud out of, you don't care if it gets chipped. Like this thing, like I said, this is like the Rolls Royce of axes. Like you want to use this for like basically your building materials for your shelter. When you start to build your shelter, and we'll talk about shelters, and I'm not talking about a log cabin. You probably, I mean, you could use this, but oh my gosh, that would take a long time. So this isn't the right tool for a log cabin, but for like a wood shelter, right? This is for like everything under the sun that you just need an axe to whack at and hack at and pin, you know, you use the back of this as like a hammer, right? A tomahawk. Yeah, there you go, Kenny. You could throw this. The only thing that is actually really bad about this, there's two things actually that are bad about this, in my opinion. This thing is super highly rated because it is, as you can see, it's full tang axe. So the same metal that makes the blade is the exact same handle that goes all the way to the end and makes the handle, right? So the neck, the handle, it's all one piece of metal. The bad side of this, you guys, is it gives very bad reverb into the elbow and into the hand. So when you are using this, like I said, it's more of like your beater axe. It's like you use this around the camp. You know, you use this to just like chop down little twigs before you put them into the fire to make them smaller, or I don't know, break bone of an animal if you need to do that for some reason. If you want to break rock, you can use the back of this. You definitely do not want to use the back of an axe like this, you guys, as a hammer. Very important. You would think you would, but it's not the way these work. The back of this axe is much softer than the front part. The front part has a different kind of metal formula in it than the back part. If you warp this back part because you're using it, I mean, you could, if it was a survival situation, hammer something in with it, go for it, right? But it's not wise to like really whack at something with this because it's soft enough that you will eventually bend this metal or ruin this metal, and then the handle will come off. Like you'll be hacking at something and there will go your head of your axe flying away. So you don't want to use that. That's where you have this guy. This guy right here is another axe you can beat up. You can use it as a total hammer, and it will give total reverb back into your elbow, into your arm, and it hurts. But you know what? It will last you for like ever and a day, and you can just resharpen it, resharpen it, resharpen it. Sharpens real easy. It's a very good axe. And again, a swing. I know it's all backwards for you guys. I totally apologize. I will one day make a video of me using all this stuff. Like that's part of the videos I do want to make, and then I will shoot it with an actual camera and not in selfie mode, and then you guys will be able to see all the names and stuff. All right, so those are the two axes. This axe you should have if you have, like, again, a house or a camper, or you don't want to spend the money on this one. Totally understand, but I would not get this one for like your survival axe. This is not a good actual survival axe. There's much better axes, and most importantly, lighter. This thing is very, very heavy. Like it doesn't seem like it because it's so small and I'm just wheeling it around, but it's heavier than this one. Yeah, this is like as heavy as this huge axe. That's how heavy this thing is. Okay, next thing, a saw. Right tool for the right job. axes are good to cut down trees and stuff like that, but having a saw is muy importante. One, believe it or not, it takes a lot less energy. Yes, you'll be hacking back and forth, sawing back and forth, but if the saw is really good, the saw does the work. So you don't force a saw, you just let it do its job, and it will do the work for you. I know you may not be able to see this. There you go. It's a Silky Zubat 3307.5. Now, there's other versions of this one. There's a bigger one even. I got this one because it's my survival, and it's unbelievably light. This looks like it might weigh something. It's like, feels like it's like tin, but this is a really good saw. It's one of the highest rated like survival saws out there, and it fits in this sheath, which you can have on a belt loop, and then you carry this with you. It's so light, like it's unbelievably light, that it's not gonna add a whole lot to your weight when you're there. And the value of this saves it. Here's what this does. It allows you to make straight surfaces, which again for shelter building is very important and very nice to have. When you want to cut down a tree that might be too big for your axe, you can probably do it with this one. You just need basically a tree that is half this size. So that's pretty big. A tree with a circumference of like, what is that, 8 inches, 7 inches, will be able to, it'll take you a while, but you could cut through it with this. That's a game changer, especially for the weight. Also, it just will save your axe, and you want to save your axe as much as possible. Let your saw do it, as much of the work as you can and you'll figure out what you like to saw and what you don't like to saw. And then the teeth can be sharpened, you guys. This one has a very unique blade, but this blade is designed to last like a very long time. It's very aggressive blade, and it's both directional blade, right? So you watch the reviews, you see which one you want to get, but this company and this one is very good. Okay. All right. Next thing. This is having these kind of little bags inside your backpack. Oh, I guess I should do my backpack next. Hold on. Okay, so this is my survival backpack, and I got this thing, I think at Walmart or like Target. I don't know where I got this. I got it like super cheap, like retarded cheap. I don't know where I got it, but I got it super cheap. It is a outdoor products company, so the company is outdoor. It's a pretty massive size bag. I think this is a 50 liter. Backpacks go all the way up. Today, backpacks go all the way up to like camping backpacks or survival backpacks go all the way up to like 120 liters. And those would be like military size bags, right? This is only like a 50 liter bag, but it carries enough for me to, did I curse? Oh, I'm sorry, Lord. What did I say? Oh crap or something? My bad. 2 days worth of food and clothes. Okay, yeah, exactly, Ellen Mahar. 2 days worth of food and clothes. Exactly. So this is a size bag that's good for like 2 to 3 days actually of food and clothes, and to carry all the stuff that you're actually seeing today. And so it also has these molly straps on the outside, which I can hook other bags to. Retard. Oh, I don't consider that a bad word, but for anybody else who does, that's fine. Okay, I apologize. Okay, so if you get these kind of carabiners and you have another bag and it doesn't fit inside here, then you can easily hook it onto here, and now you're carrying your bag on the outside. It'll wobble, it'll be awkward, but you have your stuff with you. So, what else do we do? Okay, let me open up this green bag. So this is my backpack. I can't really show it to you because I'm in the car. I need to lay it out, but it has basically, it fits everything I'm showing you today, so that's pretty cool. All right. Second to your axes and your knives. So this goes in the top 10s of absolute must-haves. Jeff, do you know something I don't know of why we're talking about survival equipment? Because a lot of people on here, Jeff, have asked me to go over what survival equipment I have for preparing for the times ahead. So that's what I'm doing. I guess you missed those videos because we've had like 6 of them. So, first thing, axe, saw. I mean, honestly, I'm going to take the saw with me. That's my personal thing. But if you only have to take one, you can't take a saw. An axe goes above the saw. A saw is only an accompaniment to the axe. And if you can only take one axe, you take that forest size axe because it's light enough, but it will get the job done. If you have a car, an automobile or something like that, then you can take a tree felling axe and you can take that little hatchety axe. Backpack obviously goes without saying because you're going to need that. Seeds, in my opinion, you would take at least 1 packet of all the seeds because it's so crazy light, and that way wherever you do end up camping out, you'll have seeds that you want to grow food on. But this is one of the top 5 must-haves. This next one is it's the one thing on the list you cannot do without, just like a knife, and that's a fierce cerium rod, right? So what you do is you would take this rod and you would take the back of your knife. I should have another knife. Hold on. In a survival situation, what you would do is you would take the back corner edge of your knife, right? The 90-degree spine. You would put this into your little shreds, as small as shreds and as big of a pile as you can make of little shreds of wood or grass or things like that. And then what you do is you scrape and it gives sparks, right? So you'd never, ever, ever want to use your blade for doing this. You can, and your knife, but if you do, you probably want to do it like close to the edge because, you know, you'll use this side. If for some reason your spine isn't working, whatever, but I guess you could use your blade, but you really shouldn't because it's going to cause you to do more work. So you scrape here and then the sparks will fly. Now, I found something that works really, really well, and I always have them together. They're both so light and it's dedicated to this. And this is a sharpener. Now, the other thing I had said in my last video on this topic was having tools that have multiple functions. This is the tool I could sharpen the saw with. I'll show you. So this is a sharpener. This is a blade sharpener for knives, but it's like construction worker. You get it at like Home Depot kind of deal, or like a, you know, warehouse, you know, type of place. So what you would do is you take this and you put it in between the blade and you would sharpen the blade back together. So like back to sharpness. So you can put it in between the blade and it will sharpen it back. That's one use of this, right? Now, it's made of an unbelievably hard carbon steel. So having it already in your bag, so having this already in your bag allows you to have a dedicated sparker. So I have it hooked up like this because I want them to always, always, always stay together. I'll show you also what I did real quick. So I have all these lanyards from when I used to do my alcohol business. We always gave these out at all of our events. And this one is really cool because it detaches. So I have this around my neck. And by the way, in a survival situation, this would always be around my neck. Like, always. So this part would always be around my neck. And then I would lock it on and then it would hang. And it's very heavy. Don't get me wrong. It's very heavy. But in a survival situation, I would fall down a river, my bag floats off my body, I have absolutely nothing. The one thing I'll have is this, I can make a fire. As long as I can make a fire, and of course I'll have my knife on me and whatever else is on my belt clip, which in this situation would be my knife, possibly my axe and my saw. So those would be on my belt clip, which means that my belt would have to get ripped off my body for me to not have these things. So with this, there's a second clip, I take it off, and then I can strike and it will give me sparks. A cerium rod of this thickness and this length, I'll get serious sparks, which you want. You want as much sparks as you possibly can get, and this will give me around 5,000 plus sparks, like strikes. And if you think about this, there's nothing on earth that can compete with this because it can get wet, you can drop it in the dirt and the mud, wipe it off, and it's ready to go. A lighter, you can't say that about a lighter. Now, that being said, if you guys remember my last video, I did have multiple lighters. I do have multiple lighters in my pack, and I keep them in a waterproof I keep them in a waterproof container so that if I fall into a river or if I fall into a lake or I get into a downpour of rain, my lighter and my lighting materials will not get wet. Like they're in baggies inside of a waterproof container. We'll get to that in a second. So fire starting materials, in my opinion, you really just can't have too much of them. Of course you can, because you're gonna need space for other things. So if you only have one, it needs to be this device right here, ferrocerium rod, okay? And you can take the back end of another knife I'm about to show you. You can take the back end of a knife like this that folds, and you can scrape as well, right? As long as it has a 90-degree angle and it's very hard and sharp, you can scrape and you'll get plenty of sparks off of it. I don't want to do it now because I would literally spark my entire truck. Okay, so, what else? Okay, what goes with this? The fire. I had other fire things I wanted to show you. Okay, if you saw the last video, you saw that I had this thing. It's called live fire. Again, backwards, I totally get it. But this thing is pretty amazing, you guys. I've obviously, as you see, I've used it. This isn't even the one I showed you before. This is a totally different one. This is my actual survival bag. So this is a totally different fire set than the other fire set I showed you. But this is pretty awesome because if I needed to actually, if it's cold, it's rainy, I feel weak, I haven't eaten, my dexterity is not so good, I'm kind of I don't know about you guys, but I get kind of the jitters if I haven't eaten. And in a survival situation, you may be traveling far on foot, trying to get to safety or trying to find a good spot, and you haven't eaten, right? And if that's the case, you're not going to be as good at starting a fire as you think. Starting a fire is extremely difficult. Now, if you have a lighter, your first night, use your lighter. Don't even fiddle far around with this unless your skill set is really strong with it and you're very confident. But the amount of calories that you'll build sitting there starting to spark it and all that kind of jazz, just get your lighter out, flick your thumb, use it. But the good thing is if you use this, you won't use the fuel in your lighter. You can light it in 2 seconds, 1,000, 2,000, it's gonna be lit. And then you control how much flame you want by controlling how open this is. So think of it as a lantern, right? The more open it is, the bigger the flame. The smaller it is, you will be able to have a small flame and not use so much up. But you want to allow yourself the opportunity to have time, throw kindling on it, make sure that the kindling catches on fire, and you're not sitting there just using your lighter fluid. So this will burn for a very, very long time. It's super small, compact, very light, and you can actually keep this in your pocket if you wanted to, which I kind of would recommend. I have multiple of these. They come in multi-packs if you get them online. So I have multiple of these. As I said, there was one in my other pack, and then this is my actual fire pack, and then I'd have one in my pocket. So, okay, so that's fire. It doesn't hurt to have weatherproof or wet-proof matches. It doesn't hurt. So I do, and they come in these that are waterproof. The thing about them is that if you get this thing, it comes with a striker on the side. It's inside right now. It comes with a striker on the side. You strike it and it will light for like, I don't know, a minute or something. It'll burn very hot, very bright, and it'll allow you a good opportunity. So it's just another backup form of that. Speaking of fire, remember too, a magnifying glass. This is one of those ferrocerium. Yeah, I don't know how to spell it. I think there's a C instead of a, I have no idea. I'm a horrible speller. Magnifying glass. This is just one of those, like, I don't know. I call them like, your grandma and grandpa use it to read. They put it on the newspaper or whatever and they read. And then you can kind of manipulate it and bend it, and you could start a fire with it. It's really, really hard, but you could start a fire with it if you're in the right environment. Desert would be a very good place, and you would definitely need that. It would definitely be a good thing to have, because then you're not using your other resources. It's unlimited resource, right? So if you have time, you have energy, and you have a magnifying glass, use it. I have another magnifying glass thing that I think I showed you last time. I'll show it to you guys again real quick, and that one works better than that one even, but it's not bad to have. Oh, again, multiple purpose. If you get a splinter, or you get something in your nail and you need to see if it's infected, or you need to look at something and do self-surgery with like a needle, getting something out of your finger or something like that, having a magnifying glass, believe it or not, very, very helpful. Especially one that's weightless and completely it's thinner than a credit card. So very, very good to have. Super glue. You think, Nathan, why do I need super glue out in the forest? This is one of the fastest ways you can stitch up a wound. You squeeze your skin together and you super glue your skin together. And you just let that bad boy heal. It is one of the fastest ways. If you're squeamish and you don't think you could literally sew your own skin, super glue it. Legit. You might get a little bit of a buzz if you get it in your bloodstream, but getting a little bit of buzz off of it is better than dying from blood loss. So, this little guy right here is called a Work Sharp 20 guide, a 20 degree guide. So this guy I can sharpen all my blades with except for my axe. I wouldn't want to sharpen my Gransford's Brook axe with it because it has a rounded edge, and that's for striking power and strength. But this is one of just like those basically straight edge for all my knives, right? And it's super small, it's super light. It has a diamond rough plate on the side, so it will get all the grit and all. It's like a really rough to get your edge back. And then it has a smoother side here, and one of these I think flips for an even smoother side. Then it has ceramic for even smoother, and then your fingers go here so you can hold it without having to worry about cutting your fingers. And what you do is you just play here. I'll show you. I'll actually show you guys real quick. The beauty of this thing is this. What I'm dealing with here is I'm trying to tell you guys, you may not have the skill set that you think you have. Surviving is a lot different than in your brain. You're like, well, I could do that. I mean, I'm smart enough. I could figure it out. Doing it and knowing how to do it, totally two different things. Sharpening a knife can actually get quite frustrating if you don't know how to do it. Having something like this, especially with no food, your brain isn't working so well, protecting your hands and your fingers, you put your fingers right here on the edge and you hold it. If you can see, you just put it right on the yellow part. You just put it right to the edge. It gives you the angle, and then you just slide it across at that angle. And then you flip it over, and you slide it across at that angle. See, it has it on both sides. The angle is the exact same on both sides. So it has it already for the rough, it has it already for the smoother, and then what you would do is you would use the ceramic part for the really smooth, and then it even has a leather strop right here. So everything that you would need to get your blade super sharp is right here in this tiny little thing. And it has something that you probably wouldn't be thinking about. You turn this little knob here, and this is designed to, you ready for this? This is crazy. This is designed to sharpen your hooks, your fishing hooks. See the groove in there? So what you would do is you would put your fishing hook in the groove and slide it. And that would re-sharpen your fishing hooks. And then this little ceramic part here is for like the curve of your ceramic, your fishing hooks as well. So this thing is unbelievably light, pretty cheap, not that expensive, but I'm telling you, sharpening in the wilderness, you're not going to be as skilled as you think you are. I'm just telling you right now, you're not going to be as skilled as you think you are. When you open it up inside, they even give you a little survival guidebook in a scroll. So this will tell you how to do things. It gives you all sorts of other information. It goes right inside, and then it uses a magnet to hold this back in, to back on. So, I mean, this thing is like a Swiss Army knife sharpener deal. Very high rated. Everything is super high quality. I absolutely love it. Okay. I guess staying on knives, since that's kind of where we're at now. This is something that I consider to be a luxury, but it's not really a luxury. I mean, it is. It's not one of the 10s. It's not one of the top 10s you need, right? So top 10s you need: axe, fire steel, shelter, water bottle, some form of way of boiling water. So you need a water bottle that drinks from boiling water, some kind of filter for water. I'll get them. I'll get all the 10. Give me a second. So this is kind of like, in my opinion, it's the next category, the next 10 that I think is super important, and you'll understand why in just a second. So what this is, it's like a Swiss Army knife for making bowls and spoons and different, compass. Thank you, Yvette. That's absolutely not another one of them. That's super important to have. You can technically make a compass though in nature, but having a compass is way better, like a professional compass where you can guide. That's another thing people think are going to be a lot better at using a compass. You got to get a certain compass, which I don't even have. I have a compass. It's one of those little bowl floaty deals. It'll work, but yeah. But you should have a good compass. So this allows you to make spoons and bowls. You see, it's curved, but it's like a Swiss Army version of it. It's very high rated company. I'll get the name for you here. It is Flex Cut. It's not the Rolls Royce, it's like the next step down, but I got it on Amazon a long time ago. As you can see, I've only used it like a few times. And it has all these different tools in it, which allow you the ability to make cups and bowls and all the other things that you might need. So there, I opened it up for you, right? And you can see they all are shaped differently. Like, look at this big one right here. So this big one right here would be perfect for using for like making a bowl, or if you needed a spoon to use all your what's it called? For like stirring your soups and things like that, you're gonna want to have like something like this. It just makes your life a lot easier. You can totally, yes, knife is definitely on the list, and rope, Mark, very good. Cordage is the word, and I'm going to get to cordage actually. There's certain kind of cordages you should get. So you probably already know that though, Mark. Awesome. Okay, so give me 1 second, I have to put this away. Okay, so this comes in a little knife deal like this, Flex Cut, but it also has this deal that comes with it. Where is it? Thought it was in here. No? Might be like that. Oh, no, it's probably here. Hold on, guys. Hold on. No. Well, it comes with a deal to sharpen it. And it's pretty small, so very, very good to have. Very, very good to have. Again, just if you don't have to use your knife, because here's what people will do. When people want to make a spoon or they want to make a bowl, they'll use the tip of their knife. And even though your knives are very strong, after a very, very, very long time, you keep using your knife and you're using it for like these things where you're digging with the tip, you'll break the tip of your knife off. It happens all the time. People think they don't. And yeah, so having that little pocket knife thing that I'm talking about, having this deal, will save the tip of your knife blade. And also this is made with a different kind of steel. So it's just designed specifically for making stuff. And you can even carve like toys or like just things to keep yourself busy, or if you want to have a Moses style testimony hiking stick, you can carve your testimony on with this bad boy. Okay, to sharpen your Gransford Brook axe, you can get this at the same website. They sell these, and I recommend you do. They might even sell it with it. You might even get it with it. You want to get one of these discs, or just something that does the same. You'll notice there's two colors on it. One is very gritty, so you'll get all those spurs, all the marks, all the bends and the deals on the edge of your blade. You'll get it out with that side, and then you'll get to the part where you're now polishing it, getting it sharper getting it down to like the shape that you really want with the finer side. You want to get it wet with water. I would recommend using water, you guys, not oil. And the only reason I say that is oil is better, and there's certain oils, like sharpening oils, to get. But the thing about it is that that's another thing you have to carry with you. Liquids aren't light. And if you're out in the wilderness and you put oil on one of these first, and then you're out of oil, and then you start to try to sharpen your blade, and now you're only using water, it just messes with the whole, like, what you've been used to and what you do. You can totally use water. This thing will last you a very long time. Just use water. So that way when you're in the wilderness, you can technically spit on it, take just river water, rain water. You're gonna have to have water, otherwise you'll be dead. So you'll have water. And use this to sharpen your Gransford Brook axe. Let me see if I can show you what I mean by the blade difference here. I don't know if I can because I'm not using like a... Oh yeah, I think I totally could. Okay, do you see how this blade has a very slow roll to it? You see that? So if I go to the knife, it doesn't have that. It has a normal, very sharp, just straight, then cuts, straight, then straight, right? So you see the difference? It's kind of hard because you can't tell, but that's the difference. So the knife sharpener I showed you earlier is good for this. You do not want to put that on your Gransford Brook axe or an axe like this, because The reason why it's rounded like this is it gives strength to the hitting, you know, a blunt object to the blade. It keeps the blade sharper longer by having it designed that way. So that is why. That is why. You guys learning anything right now? I hope you guys are having fun with this. I love this stuff. All right, next. Having utensils to eat with is not a bad idea. Titanium, super light. These come with like a little deal on, so you can put it on your person. I have a hair tie. Okay, I have a hair tie on here. Oh, it goes this way. But titanium is really good. One, titanium doesn't keep the heat like so much, so your hand won't get burnt by this. You can use these utensils. The big long spoon is basically like my stir stick, right? And then these are like my eating utensils. And it's just nice. They're so light and they don't take up a whole lot of space that might as well have it. If it's titanium like these are, it's not going to be too cheap. This one is Sea to Summit, which is a massive, very, very reputable company. Sea to Summit, very, very good. I do have a pair of scissors, little scissors, because you have no idea how much scissors could possibly be useful in the wilderness. All right, let me see, things that are going to actually be needed. I have so much stuff. Some of this stuff isn't exactly necessity stuff. But this next thing, you probably wouldn't think about it. Trust me. Trust me. Literal life saver for most people. Super crazy large pencil sharpener. Yeah. You're like, Nathan, why on God's green earth in a survival situation do I need that little yellow thing that's designed for pencils that are about the thickness of a finger or a thumb even? Why do I need this? Because, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, you are not going to be that good at making what's called fire sticks or tinder, right? If you are in a situation where it's raining out or it's wet or it's cold, the way that you get dry wood is you got to cut into wood. So, example, let's say that I found a tree that was as thick as this, like a tree branch, right? And I had to cut the tree branch, or hopefully you want to find it on the ground. You want a dry one. So you want to take it off the ground, right? And it has the bark on it and it has everything on it. And you're like, well, you can't use it because it's wet. It's been raining. You have to whittle this down using your axe. You'd have to whittle a tree branch down this thick, down to something this thick. And when you got there, it would be dry. When you got here, though, the ability to make very fine shavings, right? Especially if your hands, again, it's cold, you're shaking, you don't want to cut yourself. You literally take this bad boy, you put it on the stick, and you turn it. And it's going to make really, really fine curly cues, right? Those little curly cues like pencil shavings, right? And you just make a ton of them. Make a whole big old batch so your whole hands are filled with those things like to the brim. And you just literally pencil sharpen that and bam. Very easy, zero skill set. Tinder maker. Pretty awesome. Super light. And I think it's probably like, I don't know, $2 on the internet. Or you can go Home Depot if there's such a place, Lowe's, whatever you have. Okay. That to me is definitely a survival deal. My other ferrocerium rods, see, I have them all over the place. I mean, trust me, you can't have too many of these. So this would probably be the one I actually wear when I'm like just going on a walk. Not necessarily the one with this, but most likely I would be walking with my knife, or at least one of my knives. So I would have the ability to strike it. So definitely walk with this. Ferrocerium rod. Okay, what else? This is all good. This is good stuff. We're learning things today, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, yes. This right here. Again, another additive that you should have in your bag. Very, very small, very, very light. Total game changer. When you're starting a fire, especially when you're new to starting a fire, you're gonna do this thing where like you have your tinder bundle in your hand, right? And it's lit on fire, and you're like, I better hurry up and make sure this goes. So you're gonna be blowing on it, and then there's gonna be smoke, and it's going right in your eyes, it's going up your nose, and it's burning. You're like, and then you take in a big thing of air, and it's smoke, and you're hating life. And then you put it in the thing, and you start to put the twigs on top of your nest that's on fire to start everything. And then you're trying to get your face close and blowing, and then it's a problem. Or you can have this big old long straw. This is not for drinking. You take the small end, put it towards the fire, and then you have the big end, you put that towards your mouth, and you go, and then your fire gets a ton of air, and your face is far away, you're not sucking in smoke, your eyes aren't burning, and this thing is so small and so light, it's like aluminum. I have absolutely it's super, super crazy light. I don't think I can feel it in my hand, and I'm holding it. And it comes in this deal. It's called a pocket bellow. Pocket bellow. It's backwards, flip the image, you'll see. Pocket bellows. You can get them online, you can get them at any camping store. Unbelievable game changer, guys. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Being able to blow on your fire to get it going is a life-saving tool. I'm telling you the truth. These are things people most don't think about. Okay, just reading your comments. You guys are funny. All right, let's see here. Is there anything else that I think is a necessity in this particular bag? For somebody like me, because I'm super paranoid, you ever had food poisoning? I have. It sucks. Okay. If you have food poisoning, I got one of these. This is a temperature gauge for what kind of food you're eating. And I have literally a temperature gauge deal, like a little pin version. And it's not digital, it's mechanical. I don't want digital because it's batteries I'd have to charge, right? And it says it on it as well on the plastic side. See the temperatures there? It says what the food is and how much it needs to go. So I have this in my bag, and trust me, I'll be using it if I'm out eating in the forest or the wilderness or survival situation until I have it completely memorized. But yeah, because I don't want to get sick with worms in my belly and all that stuff. Because remember, there's not like there's a doctor around. Dental floss, always have dental floss. Picking stuff out of your teeth with your nails are going to be dirty. Having dental floss, you guys, believe it or not, once again, could literally save your life. Literally save your life. The last thing you want to do is using your dirty, gnarly fingernails, especially if you just got done like gutting a fish, or I mean, you'll see. You go out in the wilderness for like one day, last thing you want to do is take your fingernail and be picking food out of your teeth. Ugh. All right, this is kind of a luxury item, but what's on it kind of is not. You'll understand in a second. This is like a little baby crowbar. This is more for like urban settings, like in the city. Like if I needed to pry something open, or if I wanted to just kind of dig around or scoop something. It's made of an unbelievably hard steel, but around it, underneath this tape is it's wire. It's wire for traps. So I put it on here so that it's all together. And this allows me the opportunity to have trapping wire. So trapping can also be illegal in some places, but if you're in a truly survival situation, getting arrested is like the least of your concerns. So this is only in a survival situation, right? You have to know your laws if you're gonna go trapping, guys. Okay. What else? There's lots more stuff in here, but I'm not showing it to y'all because it's not everything is like something that everybody needs to have. Okay. Oh, look at this. Look. Oh, this is so fun. I love this stuff. Okay, check it out. Tree. Booyah. Look at that. Don't tell me that's not genius. Tell me that's not genius. Huh? Yeah, baby. Look at that. And then I also make a sharp little point if I want to make a spear. Yes, genius. Absolute genius. No weight. $2. And you should always actually have a stick with you like this. If I whittled this whole thing down, it would totally be enough for me to make a fire. And I can't even, again, light, just throw it in the bag. Okay, that's fire stuff, that's pretty good. All right, in case you missed the last video or you just want to come to one video, I'm gonna recap a few things that I did go on the last video. Obviously, medical kit, that's one of the 10, but in reality, not everybody's gonna have that, so kind of stinks. Cordage is definitely it. This is the other thing I was talking about. That's a very strong magnifying glass, and and then this is like my cheese grater deal. Same exact concept as the pencil sharpener, but this is all like a big. See how much bigger this is? I kind of don't like how big this is. It also has a mirror, which is good though for reflecting if you need to signal help. Like if you want a plane to come save you, but in this situation, I don't think you'd want a plane. But the mirror is also good if you want to like pick something out of your teeth, or you're trying to look to see if you have something in your head. I don't know, whatever. So the way that this works though is the exact same thing as the pencil sharpener, because people are going to be overconfident in their skills to make bird's nest, right? So what this does is you take this cheese grate thing and you take a piece of wood and you just shave it, and inside it's going to make such tiny little shavings, and they're going to be all collected right here. Makes it so nice. I use this actually when I go camping. Like, this is my thing I use. I'd like to make feather sticks is what they're called. You can Google feather sticks, and feather sticks are great, but they don't catch on fire as easy as you would think. So doing something like this makes it very easy to catch it on fire. Cordage. Let's get to cordage. Tarred bank line. It is my humble opinion you want to get a very high quality tarred bank line. If you go to pathfinderschool.com, it's that guy I was telling you guys about in the other videos. He's on the links. Dave Canterbury, he was on History Channel or Discovery Channel show as a survivalist guy, but he was like famous as a survivalist guy before that. He has this school called the Pathfinder School, and on there he has a store and he sells bank line, and I would recommend you get his bank line. It's unbelievably light. You will get yards and yards and footage of it, like footage, meaning not footage like film, but like length of it. And it's unbelievably light. It doesn't stretch, which is sometimes a good thing. And it's waterproof. And you can bundle it up, light it on fire. So it's good for that. But other than that, paracord. 500, at least 500 strength paracord. Paracord is probably one of the best survival cordages you can get. And then because you may not have all your knots memorized, you can get these card knot deals. It tells you how to make basically every kind of knot you would need for survival. It tells you how to do it on each side of the card as a deal. So you'll have all these knots that maybe your brain doesn't have memorized, or maybe you forget, oh my gosh, I really need a knot that slips, but only slips when I tell it to. I need a knot that will never slip. Booyakata. Bear Grylls is not a good guy to follow for survival stuff. He actually is very dangerous to follow for survival stuff. So this is what I call my day bag fire bag, okay? So I'm gonna show you what's in here. This is like the bag I would actually use on a normal basis, because you see how much smaller it is? This is the one I would take with me on every day hike. If I'm just going to get a drink of water, I would have my day pack with me, because you never know. Maybe I'll get hurt, maybe I'll get stuck, and I'll need to make a fire because I'll be stuck there, and I'll have to, hopefully somebody will come and get me. There's a lighter in it, guys. Old-fashioned lighter. Keep them in there. Booyakata. I also have this. This is my drywall saw. It's just a really, really small saw that I already had, and I realized I just put a sleeve that I made, and then I could literally cut down some trees or branches, not trees, but branches to make a fire. So for like my day bag, if I don't want to take my whole saw, but I do want a saw, just for ease, this is a drywall. It works though, crazy. Okay, Band-Aids. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. The Mora knife. You guys can type in Mora, M-O-R-A-K-N-I-V, but everybody calls it Mora in the survival world. I would recommend getting this specific one at least as one of yours. You don't need, okay, where to go? So this is like a higher grade. This isn't even like the highest grade. This is like a medium grade survival knife. Like, as you can see, it's beat up, it's for like survival knife, right? Like a military grade survival knife. So I got it for 79 bucks, but this knife normally would be like 160, 150. You're not gonna necessarily need to spend money, guys. This company right here that makes this orange toy looking knife, which this is no toy, this is intentionally this bright. It's because if it goes into the water, if you're filleting fish or anything like that, you want to find your knife. The last thing you want to do is lose your knife. Having a bright orange knife like this means it's going to be very, very hard to lose, and of course it has the belt strap. This one is specifically designed for skinning animals. See how it has this flat, it goes flat there? See how it does that? It's thick and then it goes thin. That's to get underneath the skin, to get the skin off the meat. So this is a skinning knife. I'd highly recommend you have one of these in a survival situation. This knife was $20 or something great, like literally 20 bucks, something crazy like that. They make another one called a carbon. It's a carbon version. It's a black knife, and that is the one that you would get instead of this one. But you want both. In fact, where'd it go? No. Did I lose it? There's stuff all over the place. I'm not very organized. Hold on a second. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. I have other things to show you. Where is it goes? The one that goes. Where did I put it? Is it in the other thing? Did you guys saw the other knife? The one that will have the red handle? You want to have one of those. Yeah, here it is. Okay. It is my humble opinion, with very strong suggestion, that you have 3 knives. When you skin an animal, hide takes a toll on your blade. So you want a blade specifically designed for hides, for skinning, like specifically filleting fish, whatever. You want a blade specifically for that. Also, you'll notice that this one is stainless steel, and that means it's more resilient to rust because it's going to get wet with blood and then you're going to wash it. You want to make sure, obviously, it's dealing with your food, that you don't want it to get rusty easily. So this is a stainless steel blade. Stainless steel stays sharp very well, but very, very, very hard to sharpen. High carbon knives like this one, right? I think this might be like a 1036, something like that. This one is good for sharpening in the field. It will rust, so that's why they have the black coating on it, and you want to keep it sharpened and keep it rust free. But this is like the one that I would hack away at trees. I would basically, this is like my, like everything I need to like just attack with. This is what will literally keep me alive, right? So if I only have 2 things on me to survive with, it's this knife and my ferrocerium rod. If I only have 2 things to survive with, these are the 2 things you must have: fire and a knife. Because try to survive without a knife in today's world is, with our skill sets, close to impossible. This is so cool. This little folding knife is my eating knife. So this is like my cooking steak knife. It folds and then it pins, and it's made by another reputable company, Opinel, no idea, made in France, but a very good blade. And this is like what I would cut my steaks with and eat it. Or if I was cooking, you know, this is like this is my cooking eating knife. It's a big enough knife, it's hardy enough. This locks so that the blade won't come down on my fingers, and it folds away, and this is what I would recommend for an eating knife. And again, why? Because you don't want to use the blade that you're hacking a tree with sap and you don't necessarily want to use this, because this is your skinning knife. Like, it's just a different thing. You could use this to eat with if you wanted to, but rather than your tree sap or bug, whatever other one, the carbon one, you could use this. But this is light, small, compact, throws in. It's just very, very easy, and it's dedicated for eating with. So the other, there's a reason why you should always have 3 knives. Any survival expert will tell you you should always have 3 knives. If this knife breaks, which is your go-to, this is your next go-to, and you will have to use this to chop trees and all this other stuff, assuming you don't have an axe, right? Like if you're out by yourself, this is what you're gonna need to survive with. Well, it's not so great. And if you're abusing this bad boy that's not meant for that, you're definitely gonna want this for the things that this used to do, now this is gonna do, plus eating with. Does that make sense? So for every knife you lose, your knives have to take up another job. If you only have these 2 knives, this would probably actually be your skinning knife. I don't think it's strong enough. So this would do that, and then this is your eating knife. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So 3 knives, just for pure redundancy of knifehood, is good thing. Okay? Just trust me. 3 knives, good to have. They're not that expensive. Especially if you get the carbon one of this, it's $50. This is $20. This was like $20 or something, $25, something like that. So very, very good to have. Okay, I'm gonna put this somewhere else. Okay. All right. Medical kit. This is that waterproof thing I was talking to you guys about. You see the green rubber inside? That's to keep this all dry. If I fall into a lake, all my bandages, band-aids, all that stuff won't get all ruined. So waterproof with the locking, see it locks? Locking deal. So if I fall into a river, all my stuff isn't ruined. All right. Okay, you guys saw last time my water filtration system. I'm trying to go over things on this one that you didn't see last time. I have so much stuff. Oh! Things that people don't think about. You ready for this? Gloves. You must have a pair of gloves, guys. If your hands go bad, if your soft, gentle, city slicker hands get blisters and get messed up, or you're just getting a splinter, you'd be surprised how unbelievable getting a splinter in your hand can mess up your whole day, especially if you're whacking at things. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this particular glove has like protectors on the knuckles. So again, just if you're working, this glove has also extra protection on the places that would wear down for your hands. I mean, it's not really useful in this situation, but it has also the cell phone fingertips. Okay, now gloves are so important that in my car, I have 3 sets of gloves. One, these are my gas gloves. I use these to get gas, but they're also just an extra pair of gloves. Like if I work on the engine at all, or I'm doing anything to do with the automobile, these are those gloves, right? Because they're like kind of skin tight. You'll see in a second. Watch, I'll show you the difference. These have a good grip on them. They have that rubbery grip, but they're like skin tight. They're almost like, they're like a reusable version of the plastic gloves that you see everybody wearing, or the nylon glove, whatever it is. The gloves you see everybody wearing for germ protection, right? But you see how these also can breathe? It has a breathable material. Can you tell? I don't know if you can tell. And these are awesome, and they're super cheap at Home Depot as well. Like maybe $5, I have no idea. But super cheap considering what you're getting, right? So this is my work on the automobile car gloves and just like normal stuff. Then I have these gloves, which are more heavy duty for like if I actually was in a survival situation or I needed to like really do something where my hands are gonna get beat up. Oh, I didn't move them over to this glove box, but I had another pair of gloves in my car that were like super rubbery gloves. I actually do have them, yeah. These in a survival situation would be great, like if you are skinning an animal. The only danger of this is you see why these have these grip on them. If you are skinning like a deer or a moose or something with like a lot of blood, having these on just keeps your hands and everything from getting bloody and gnarly and whatever. But yeah, other than that, it's not really a survival. Like if you have like a truck or an RV, having all those extra gloves. If you only have 1 pair of gloves though, what you must have is these. The other thing that people don't think about is eye protection. You can go to Home Depot and you can get like some kind of store like that, and you can get these plastic cheap, super crazy light, but just cheap plastic they just look like those glasses, right? And I recommend you get those. Imagine you're chopping a tree, you're whittling, you're building the fire, blowing smoke into the fire, right? Whatever, even if you got the tube, and a spark lands in your eyeball. A splinter gets in your eyeball, right? Something gets in, you're walking, you're walking, and a tree branch, boom, you're not looking. It happened to me. It happens to people. In fact, this is actually a common thing that happens to people. You're walking, you're pushing tree branches, and the tree branch whoosh, comes right back, hits you in the eye. Having those really strong, but perfectly clear, really light, like lighter than a pair of, these are like throwaway sunglasses, by the way. Having a pair of that will protect your eye. And if your eye gets messed up, man, you're in bad news in survival situation. So having these like little things like that, you won't see these on the survival channels that I sent you, by the way. These guys don't want to look weirdo, right? So they don't wear survival eye protection like for like, you know, garage work, right? Like they're not going to wear it because it doesn't look good. But if you're actually in a survival situation, guys, having it could literally save your life again. You lose your eye, or you lose one of your eyes, or your eye is all jacked up. Yeah, the pain, the mental breakdown of thinking you lost your eye. Am my eye gonna heal? If you got a splinter in your eye, how the heck are you gonna get a splinter out? Then cheap throwaway sunglasses. Sunglasses, oh man, I don't know what I would do without them. These are just like my cheapies. These are my throwaways. They're my backups in my car, right? So you've never seen me wear these before. They're my cheapies, right? You have these. They're super crazy light. Again, they're made of like a bendable plastic so they won't break on me, whatever. If I'm going on a hike, or I'm going to get water, or if I just want to keep my eyesight, or just, again, it's another form of protection. At least that thing's going to take a blow before I do, so that is a good thing. All right. Ooh, okay. Let's get into this next stuff. Cordage. Canteen. Something to cook water and food with. Again, David Canterbury on his, I don't know where I got this. I think I got this at REI when it was on discount. I had like a thing at REI. REI is like a survival, hiking, whatever, adventure place. So it's a little canteen cup. It has a measuring deal, which I love. I just love measuring things. It just allows me to know how to do stuff. This lid goes on. It falls right off. It doesn't stick on, but it has holes on it. You see these 3 holes? That just allows it to vent, so you don't have to like keep it cropped, nothing like that. And then this is super important. It has a little deal on it. So I can put this on a stick and then put this on the fire, over the fire, however height I want. Game changer, guys, to have that. And then when I want to get it off the fire, I use a cloth or something, or a stick, and I can grab it by these handles. And then when I'm using it now, I'm using it as a bowl or a drinking cup. And either way, if I'm drinking from some tea or I'm eating it as a bowl, booyakata. This thing will get the job done. And you can put stuff in here, by the way. You would want to put like fire tinder and all your fire stuff in here, because that's a good use of space. And then it goes inside this little net, which actually could be used for filtering water and stuff later on. So very useful to have. You must have one of these. This is titanium. You don't have to have titanium, but I got titanium just because it will last light. It's unbelievably light. Weight matters. Every ounce will add up. So you want to get as light as possible, but you don't have to. There's all sorts of kinds. David Canterbury sells all this kind of stuff on his website. So does Joe Robinette, the links I gave you guys before. Okay. Now this is going to seem like a weird thing that I'm about to do. Are you ready? First, I'm going to show you one. You're going to understand why. I got to do this in order. Okay. This is how I learn about trees. These books. I bought them used, by the way, off of Amazon. You can get used books off of Amazon.com, like the book part, not like whatever. You know, Amazon has book part. So it gives you pictures and in color. Muy importante, because there'll be a plant that looks very much like one plant, but different color. And then the other plant, not so good for you if you eat it. It will kill you. And they look very much alike. So you either want to stay away from those plants altogether, or you want to have your book on you, literally. You know how much a book weighs? Not very fun. Yeah, I'll give the David Canterbury store thing again. And you don't have to buy from him, you guys, but if you go to his store, you'll see the quality of the stuff that's like for survival tier, and then you can find it anywhere on the internet, you know, that you might want to get it, whatever, or a store near you, or whatever you want to do. But he does actually have pretty good prices, to be honest. So, okay, so this book has pictures of every plant in my region, or in this part of America. So this one is the Field Guide for North America Trees Western Region. Edible Wild Plants North American Field Guide. So this is, I guess, the whole United States for edible plants. Colorful pictures again. Trust me. Colorful pictures will save your life. It's a thing most people do. You know, these originally were made in black and white, back in like obviously the days when there was only pen and paper. Eek. This one, mushrooms. Mushrooms. Yeah, man, these things are unbelievably helpful. If you know how to use mushrooms, you could literally save your life and eat and all sorts of other things. Also great for fire starting if you get the right one. There's one that's like one of the best fire cold carrier deals. All that will go into another day. So mushrooms. Okay, but look, we're only at 3 books. This is just Western, this one's all United States edibles. This is just Western trees, Northern Western America trees. This is just mushrooms. I got more. Hold on. You have no idea how many of these books I have. So, okay, so there's this. Do you know how much this weighs right here? This weight, you can't carry this with you. What are you gonna do? You can't. Okay, you get what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. So, enter into cheap Amazon tablet, $50 Amazon tablet. You don't have to get one this big, by the way. You can also use throwaway cell phone or just old cell phone, right? Go on Amazon, download your books. Booyakara. Everything that you need. You want to zoom, you zoom. Oh, what is that? I need to see that leaf exactly. This little guy right here to replace this guy. If you want to carry this guy because, you know, like I said, you have an automobile, or you just want to have all your books with you for surviving because you know you're not going to remember everything, and notes. You can put notes, Word documents in this or this. You carry it with you. Now, how are you going to charge it? Funny you should ask that question. Solar panel, baby. Now, it's not super crazy efficient, but this is the most efficient one on the market. It gives you 4 panels, and then here at the top, it opens up, and it gives you all the like cordage deals for charging with. So you can charge multiple devices. See, there's multiple. And it gives you the cordage inside. You can keep everything together. Very, very helpful. Little book on how to use it. And what you would do is you would just take this, put this bad boy in the sun, and the best thing to do is put it onto one of these. Wait for it. Oh no, I left it. I think I left it. I didn't bring it because I didn't think of it. Yeah, I didn't bring it with me. Bummer. But you want to put it on a battery pack. So what you do is you lay this bad boy in the sun and charge a battery pack. And then what you want to do is you take the battery pack and then you would charge the device, which has your books, so you can educate yourself, study, watch videos if you download videos onto it, all that kind of stuff. The weight difference, I mean, this weighs, this is heavy, but the cell phone, this is like, this cheap throwaway extra cell phone I have was literally like a, I don't know, $50. It's a Motorola. It's like the cell phone they give you when you're, you know, like homeless. You know what I mean? They're like, here, have a cell phone, because they want everybody to have a cell phone. Like, this is like the giveaway homeless smartphone, right? You get what I'm trying to say, right? So that's what this is. So it's super crazy light. Battery lasts actually forever, way longer than my fancy one, which is the one I'm shooting with for you guys right now. This thing lasts forever, the battery on this. I don't know why but it's not as high grade, I guess. It doesn't use as much energy. Put this on a battery pack, charge it all day, leave it out in the sun, and you'll be able to have your education on the book you need to whether or not to eat that mushroom you found that day. Do you get what I'm trying to say? This amount of information, you're not gonna have internet, but you download those books. You download those survival books onto here, and you could download 100,000 books onto this thing. And if this is your survival tablet, you have movies, your favorite movies on here, maybe your favorite TV show like Game of Thrones, or I don't know, whatever. That's the most popular. That's why I'm using that. Maybe you have Little House on the Prairie. That's a better, more G-rated one. So yeah, Little House on the Prairie, let's say, and you just want to have something feel good that you watch 1,000 times for the rest of your life, right? Boom. There you go. Watching video, though, will probably burn through your battery, but you get my point. Okay. There's another book. That's probably the most important book that you can get. Where did I put it? This book is the Game Changer book. Hold on. Oh, I found these things I wanted to share with you guys, too. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. One more thing. Hold on. This, yep. This is the Bible of survival. Really. This is the Bible for survival. It is made by a guy named Morris Krokowski. And this guy is the guy who, like, he went back in time and studied, not really with like a traveling back in time, but he went back in time and studied every single one of the tactics that he could find that our ancestors used to survive. And he put them all in a book. And he drew pictures with explanations and drawings and why you do it, the psychology behind it. This guy is bushcraft. Like, he's the godfather of modern day bushcraft. Does that make sense? Well, you can always disable, but yeah, you have to have an internet signal for them to find you, I think. Okay, because Emily is asking about tracking devices. Yeah, you'd have to disable that. How to make a basket out of bark. I mean, everything you need to know in this book right here. Now, if you only had one book, this would be the book you want to take. But there's absolutely no reason why you'd want to take this and not just take this with a... you can go and get also like at a Best Buy or whatever cell phone store, whatever you guys have, wherever you are in the world, and put this in a water protective otter box or something like that, which you could drop it from a tree like 2-3 stories up and it will survive. But you can still, you know, touch the screen and it will still receive, you know, you'll still be able to tell it what to do. This bad boy right here, all the books you would ever need right here. I recommend this. This would be my first choice because it's super light, super small. The GPS thing, you'd have to look into it, but I don't know if they could find you in the middle of the wilderness. Okay, see that knife right there? That's the Mora carbon knife I was telling you about. It's on the guy who wrote the Bible for bushcraft. The picture, they used that knife. That's how good the knife is. So if you're thinking to yourself, maybe that's just Nathan's opinion that those Mora knives are good. No, you Google those knives and they all have 5-star ratings out of 5 stars. Like, all of them. Nobody complains about a Mora knife. So you don't need to spend a lot of money to get a really good knife, guys. Mora knives will get the trick done, and they're amazing knives. If you want anything else beyond that, it's kind of just like a personal... It's kind of like how in the ancient days, how men were with swords. Like, it would be something you passed on to your kid. You know what I mean? You could still do that with a Mora knife, but, you know, when you get into like a real bushcraft knife, it's more of like a personal touch and design to it. Make sense? All right. This bad boy is a game changer as well. Fall into a river, all your clothes are wet. Fall into a lake, rain pour comes down. You have nothing but wet clothes. And even your other clothes, your backup clothes, are all wet. Unless your backpack is completely waterproof, which is probably going to cost you a nice pretty penny, you can get one of these on Amazon. It's a waterproof, like, fold bag deal. I'll show you in a second. You put your clothes in this, and then you roll it, and then you clip it together. And now it has this roll to keep it airtight. This fabric is woven in. You see how it has a plastic, but it has like this thread inside. Super freaking crazy strong. Also made by those outdoor guys, the same guys who made the backpack I have. And I don't think it's like $1,000 company. You know, they don't sell like backpacks for maybe $10,000, whatever. You know, you get what I'm trying to say? It's affordable, but it's really good. So, teaches you how to use it right there, in case you forget the video, whatever. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, but unbelievably important. If you got wet, your clothes got wet, you'd be naked standing next to a fire trying to dry off and stay warm. Not a good idea. You could even throw your backpack in here and your clothes so that, again, or your sleeping bag, excuse me, your sleeping bag, your backpack, you could throw them in here. So if you did fall in the river, or you did come into some crazy amount of water for some reason, all the things you need to fight against the cold would be waterproofed. So, muy importante. For sure on the survival list. For sure. Okay. Ready for this one? This is one people don't think about. This is the thing that some people won't be thinking about. To start your journey off, you're going to want to have some TP. Some backup toilet paper. Poop wipes is what I labeled it as. Poop wipes. Because I also have the cleaning wipe deals on there too. But that's not the thing I was thinking about, because some of you were thinking about that. But what you're not thinking about is a poop scoop hole digger. You do not want to go poop where your camp is, because your poop will attract aminals. And so you want to take this really, really light, this hasn't been used. And it's not like I dig in my poop, so this would only be in dirt anyways, but I still have it in here just for psychology for myself. So it goes in here just for the sake, right? I dig a hole first. This thing is so light. It's like, I can't even tell you how light this thing is. Like, it's like if you could hold wind. It's unbelievably light, but it's super strong, not comfortable. You would not want to hold this with your bare hands like I'm doing right now. You want to put a glove on, and you dig a hole so you could go poo-poo in the hole. And game changer, because otherwise, what are you going to use? A stick? Or you're going to use your knife? You don't want to do that. Definitely don't want to do that. You'd be surprised. You're going to need to dig a hole, and you're going to need to cover it. This thing weighs absolutely nothing. It can lanyard, you can lanyard it to the outside of your bag in case you have to go like emergency. Like, see, right now I have it super deep in my bag. But in reality, I wouldn't want it super deep in my bag in case I'm hiking along and nature called very fast. Boom, get it out, do my deal, good to go. Now, because it's gonna take a little while to get adapted to the life out in the woods, that's where you have some modern comforts, right? Modern comforts will allow you to have kind of an adjustable move in. This is not obviously going to last forever. This might last a week. I don't know. I think I have a whole roll of toilet paper. I just took the cardboard out and I squished it. So I think this is a whole roll of toilet paper. If you're sparingly using it, maybe lasts you a week. I have no idea how often you go, but whatever. You get my point. So you want to have this, in my opinion, easy to get to somewhere in your bag. But that little shovel thing, I'm telling you, you're going to want it. You're gonna want it. Oh, the other side here. I see I put this in one of those pencil bags. Again, I put it in here because the last thing I want, I got it in, look at this. This is how much I don't want my teepee to get wet, right? So I got my teepee in a small bag with my shovel in a separate bag, just for sanitary reasons, because that's how my mind thinks. I have another bag, that's big bag. This is my all toiletry bag for toiletry actual uses. That goes in that bag. And then I wrap it up, and then I close it up. Now I have that in a bag. And then, because this bag can easily get a hole poked into it, I got this pencil bag from Target. I put that into this, seal that bad boy up. And this is like really strong plasticky leather deal for pencils. So I guess it's supposed to get safe against poking. And I put that in there. Yeah. Thing, see what I did there? See what I did? Okay. This is cool. I'd recommend getting one of these because you're gonna need to get water. You're gonna need to get water somehow, right? And if you have, I don't have it, but so this is like, if you had like just the silver metal drinking container, which is what you should have in a survival situation. I actually don't have one, but you guys always see me drinking with my other kinds. So I do have those. This thing right here, look at how small this is. This right here is a bucket. It's a bucket for like doing your dishes in and stuff. But even more applicable use, going to the river or the water source to get water and bring it home. Little guy becomes not so little guy. Oh man, what? Look at how big this is. 10 gallons, what is this, 5 gallons? Which one? I think this is a 10 gallon. No, it's not 10 gallons, there's no way. I think it's liters. Hold on, does it say on it? It probably doesn't say on it. Does it say? I don't know. It's big. This right here is plenty of water. This is like probably legitimately, can you see? It's massive. This thing has handles, they're rubber handles, super strong. It has this like rim to hold it, so like when you fill it with water, you just put it on the ground and it stays its shape, so the water's not like outside of your bag. This will keep its shape. And it will stay as it is, and it's super strong, very, very light material. This is like that modern, crazy Gore-Tex futuristic material. You guys know what I'm talking about? Well, if you don't, that's what this is. This is made by lnt.org. I thought it was Sea to Summit. Yeah, it's made by Sea to Summit. This company is bomb. This company is bomb. Oh, it's right for you guys. Oh, because I flipped it. It's inside out. So yeah, you guys can see Sea to Summit. And it's just this little thing. It's this color. You guys will see it. It's called the Ultra Sill Kitchen Sink. The kitchen sink. They pitch it as you're doing your dishes. But in a survival situation, you guys, having a bucket that you can pack really, really, really small, and it's like, you can't even, it's so light because it's that futuristic stuff. Dude, having this is, again, game changer. Game changer. Kitchen sink my hiney. That's a life-saving, my new bucket for life. Whatever the heck this thing is. You guys get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I love that it has handles. How genius are these people? I mean, it's very strong. Like, you'd be surprised. It's super crazy. I think this might be a little expensive for what you think you're getting, but it's not. Because if you had to make a bucket out in the wilderness, you guys, if you had to make any kind of like bucket to carry your stuff back home with, you're not gonna want to do it. You're not gonna want to carry that thing, and you're not gonna want to carry it around. It even tells you how to refold it for like times right now where like I'm live and not remembering how to fold it, and then it tells you, hey, you're gonna forget how to fold this, so I'm gonna tell you. So you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and it works. If you follow the instructions, it totally works. You ordered an avocado tree? That's awesome, Jim. I really want to get one, but where am I going to put it? I'm in the RV. Okay, look at this. Totally packs up. Unbelievable. I love this. This one is one of those things where like, it's kind of like my pencil sharpener idea. I was like, yeah, that's genius. That is genius. Even the kitchen sink. Oh, Angela, you're on it, girl. Yeah, even the kitchen sink. We even brought the kitchen sink with us, guys. We're not forgetting nothing. But yeah, having a bucket. You're gonna need a bucket. Clean stuff with, your knives, your silverware, your plate. Oh my goodness. Oh, I get to show you some stuff that I'm pretty proud of. Okay, I'm pretty proud of these. Hold on a second. You know these little candles? They're like the little silver candles that you put inside the candle deal. They last like a few hours. Yeah, another they also create heat. They create heat more than you would think. So these are good to have. Just, it's kind of, you're gonna have luxuries for a little while, kind of thing. Oh, it smells so good. I used cinnamon candle, so these smell unbelievable, which is good because it gives actually an aroma. May not be good in survival. People are gonna be like, "You smell cinnamon?" Anyways, ignore that part. Okay, so I took. Where did I put my other ones? They gotta be here. So these are those zit cleaning, makeup removing pads. Yeah, soft here, super soft, little white cotton fluffy part, and then the rest is this plastic. This will give me 11 minutes and 42 seconds, something crazy like that, truly, of really good flame. So it's basically a candle. So you just light this part, just the cotton part, and then it will basically slowly burn the rest of it. You'll have 11 minutes of a legit flame, you guys. 11. And look at how thin and small it is. I haven't found anything that can compete with this. So other than the silver thing that's like, well, there's way more out. There's like an hour in that thing. But these are things that I can take with me. And I have a case. It's actually, I'll find it. I want to find it. But I have a case that these go in that's like a hair deal. My hair gel. I put these in a hair gel deal. For men, we have like this circular disc puck, hockey puck looking hair gel thing that we get. And these fit right inside of it perfectly. So I put like 4 or 5 of those in there. And then that goes with my everyday carry. It's here somewhere. I think I showed it last time. And then I also have a version, in which you guys should do. It's truly, you should do this. Don't do the entire upper like fifth. Leave that entire fifth cotton, no wax, right? Because it's hard to light the wax. It's very, very hard. You want to have the cotton so it will light. So I would leave like that much of the top not waxed, and then I cut it in 3s. Booyah. And I have 3 of these, and each one of those will last me like 3 minutes, 4 minutes of burn time. So survival, yeah, I just throw one of those bad boys on. I don't even need to build the little pencil shaving dealy deal. I just throw that bad boy on, throw a whole bunch of whatever I can find on there, and this thing will light it because it lights for so long. Okay, now you don't really need this. This is just because I want to always have versions of everything. This is jute twine, like rope, like old school, really uncomfortable to touch, like rough rope. It burns really well. You can use this if you don't have the ability to, everything is raining, it's wet, and you have these, sure, but you need something bigger to light. You can take this rope right here and pull it apart. So it's just fibers, fibers, fibers everywhere, right? It just look like human head of hair, right? It's just fibers. You light that bad boy on fire from this, and then you light bigger sticks on fire from this. And then in here, I have cotton. Cotton lights so good. So these are made technically of cotton too, but this is like, I have like a whole bunch of cotton crammed in this pill thing. And then it goes in here. Okay, fire. Now this isn't all. I'd pick which one I want to go with, but these are just examples I want to bring and show you guys. I need water. Hold on, sorry. I feel like I'm forgetting something rather important. I mean, this isn't, for me it's important, but it may not be that important for you. It's a little baby can of off, because mosquitoes love me. And you can keep mosquitoes and bugs away naturally when you get to your camp. But between your automobile and wherever you walk to into the forest or the jungle or whatever you decide to do, bugs could eat you along the way, and it can be really, you're already going to be in a psychological negative because you're thinking to yourself, I'm literally going to go to the wilderness to survive. What the hell am I doing, right? Like there's going to be a part of your brain that's like, this is real. This is bad. This is a bad day. I'm out in the wilderness surviving. So having bugs eat you and eat at you is not going to add to your joy. Having this super small little can of off, or these are kind of cool. These little wipes. What? There's 2 here. Look at this. They think of everything. So all you really need to do is get to camp, right? If you can get to camp, right, to at least like your home base camp. So if I just took this right here, this will definitely get me to like my big home base camp. I'll have little baby camps maybe along the way while I'm going deep into the forest, but this will get me to my home base camp. And then once you get to home base camp, all you need is smoke. Fire, smoke makes bugs go away. So that's just that. That for me is a necessity because I have a thing with mosquitoes. Like they have a special affinity for my blood type. I have no idea what's going on with them, but it's super not cool. Okay. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting. Did you guys get the name of this company, by the way? I can't tell you how many hours of research I've done. This company is the best bang for your buck. It's not the most expensive, but it's the best one. So backwards, RAV, RAV Power. RAV Power. And I just got the one. This is not that small, but it will definitely fit in your bag, and it has 4 panels. I think this is a 20 watt, right? I think it's a 20 watt, and it will charge. It'll charge your phone, or at least like half your phone through a day, or your battery pack, which will charge your phone, half your phone in a day. So RAV Power. This is, you can do all the research you want, but I've done, like on this particular topic, I didn't want to buy this until I had done like massive hours seeing all these scientific nerd guys attach volts and jolts and watts and gigs and blah and put it in the sun, rainy, cloudy, whatever. This one rated like #1 bang for your buck. So just saving you guys a whole bunch of hours of your life. You can trust me on that or not. It's not a biblical thing, so this thing I'm saying, feel free to trust me. If it's a biblical thing, I'm always going to say don't trust me. Hold on. Let me see if I got some other stuff here that's useful. Oh. Another thing oh, yeah, 2 things. Okay. Yes. This is very good then, yes. Yeah. Oh. Okay. 2 things. 2 items, but it's going to actually lead into a whole new conversation. Okay. Do you take a tent? Here's a debate conversation. If you're backpacking, right? Like you're literally taking your backpack like I have, and you're going into the wilderness to survive. Do you want to take a tent, a tarp only, or a tarp and a hammock? Now, out where I'm at here in California, there'd be like nowhere for me to put, Southern California, there's nowhere for me to put like 2 trees and have a hammock, right? I'd be on somebody's property, like, you know, and then I'd probably get shot, which would be a very good way to go home. But the point is, you're trying, I guess, not to go home, right? Because you're not crazy like me. So the point is that you're going to want to find 2 trees to put your hammock up on. And for people in deserts, it's not going to work. You can't put your hammock between 2 cactuses. So this only applies, the hammock thing is only an option for people in the wilderness. But if you get the hammock, you're going to want what's called an underquilt. And the underquilt will work very well. And then you're going to want a tarp to basically teepee over your hammock for obviously shelter from wind and shelter from rain and stuff. And that will work better than a tent, and it will be more comfortable to sleep in than a tent, right? But, and you can still put your stuff underneath the tarp to keep your stuff dry so it's not getting in the weather. Otherwise you want to have a tent. I have a tent, but my tent is really big. And the reason is because I'm in the desert. So, but you can use your tent also in more season. Well, you can use a quilted hammock in the winter, but you have to spend a lot of money. You're talking like a $400 hammock. But if you want like a 4-season tent, you're still talking about $400 to $600 tent. So your tent, your shelter is going to be expensive. That's where the bushcraft thing comes in. I would basically take my tent to keep me out of the bugs until I could build like my legit shelter with my axe and my saw, right? Then I would build a shelter out of like trees stuff, you know what I mean? Like a bushcraft shelter, like a little hut deal, right? So, but until then, I would use my tent as my shelter because that goes up in 15 minutes, or it might take me a day or 2 working at full speed to build my bushcraft shelter. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So the tent is good for that purpose. And if you live in the wilderness or you live where you have trees, then the hammock would be good too. But you know, it's your shelter. So that's probably going to be one of the pricier things. The most pricey thing that you're carrying on you is your shelter. And that's up to you on how much you want to spend. So you can get them cheap, but you can also spend a lot. So yeah, so this ties in with the shelter though. This is a car window reflector deal. Super light, made of this bubble whatever. There's better material than this bubble stuff. There's like a foam that doesn't, it's also not as noisy. It's like a really good foam. In fact, I have some that I'm using for insulating the RV. So I actually will probably take a piece of that. But the thing that's really good about this is the reflector. See the reflector? So this will keep the heat out and also keep the heat in. So if you have a tarp or you build what's called a lean-to, you would put this facing the fire. Hi guys, I'm still here. Facing the fire, but along your bed. And then the heat, the radiant heat from your fire would bounce off of this and keep your atmosphere really, really warm. So you put it on right by your bed, behind you. Your fire is in front of you, this is behind you, and that will keep you significantly warmer. The other thing that this does is you can lay it down on the ground, and it will keep you much better. It's not like for comfort, there's not like padding, but it's also to keep your body heat to you and not the ground. Ground will suck your body heat out like nobody's business. You never, ever want to lay directly on the ground. So while this is not my entire body length, my body from basically the back of my knees to my head, this will cover. It's unbelievably crazy light. It's wide enough for my whole body, and it's a sitting pad. I can fold it like this, put it on a tree, and I'm sitting down, and I got some padding for my tushy. So it's a seat as well. Multiple uses, like I said. Radiate bed, lay on the ground so I'm off the ground if I don't have any kind of needles or anything I can make a little shelter with. And I wrap that bad boy around this. This is my cooking grill. Woo, Nelly. You put your hamburgers and I'm just kidding, you're probably not gonna have hamburgers out there in the wild. But you put your steaks and your fish on this bad boy, and you just put it right over the fire. And then you just shove the fire underneath. Now there's all sorts of ways of doing fire and grills, but in all reality, all the survivalist guys I've watched have always chosen this 3-leg or 2-leg, 3-piece foldable deal. It folds up unbelievably small. Watch, I'll show you. Folds up unbelievably small. If you're tired, it gets it up off of the fire. At least it keeps it off the coals directly. So, and it's balanced, right? You can put this and make it balanced on the ground so that your fish or your meat is not falling off, or your squirrel or rabbit, whatever you're deciding to eat. And it's not that expensive at all. It's like 15 to 20 bucks again. I know that it'll add up, don't get me wrong, it'll add up, but you know, it's worth it, because your only other choice is to shove a stick through everything and then drape it over. And having the ability to grill something, it's one of those psychological deals. It will be very helpful for your psyche to be able to do it. I found another thing that I use before I got that one. I got this at Home Depot, which is Home Depot. It's like, again, warehouse store for tools and woodworking, building a house, right? It's a grill that goes on your, this goes on your, like, air vent at your house or in your office, right? And I bent, this has normally this, like, has like a weird hook like this, but I straightened it and I use it as a handle. See, I have a handle. And then I just shove this right on top of the fire. And look at how much bigger this is than this. You see how much wider? See how much more space I get? So I could put like easily almost double and a half the amount I could on this grill. So one of the things you could do, and this is again super light, super crazy light, and I took my oatmeal box and I taped it up because of the edges, of course, will cut your backpack, right? And this is like my own homemade little deal in cardboard, super light. So I take the, again, you could use this as a seat too, so your butt doesn't get cold when you sit down. But this bad boy right here slides into here, into that, and then I put this into my backpack. And this also acts as my back support for my backpack. So it doesn't have like the metal bars like the really fancy ones. So I actually use this as my stiff back support, which really helps carrying all the heavy stuff. The other thing that you can do with this thing that I got at Home Depot is once you open this up, you put this on top. And now you just totally increase your circumference space, but you're also lifted up. I have both. I want to keep both just because that's the way I roll. And I feel that they're both very useful. And if I really wanted to, I could have two fires for two different things. I could have like this thing really, really high being smoking stuff, like jerky, making jerky on a smoker. And then this one's actually cooking my food I'm eating right now. If I only had one, I'd have to wait to do that, right? And you may not, if you're smoking something, this could take all day. So having these things, which are pretty light, also very good for creating my back support. Multiple functions, very, very good for me. I like it a lot. So there's this idea, and there's that idea. All right, I think for today, that's everything. So basically all the things you actually saw in this video are the things I would make sure that I had in my bag. For me, for survival, like that is going in my bag, minus the clothes you didn't see, and minus like my GoPro and my cameras, because of course I'm in survival mode. I still have to find a way to broadcast it because that's just who I am. That's a joke. Obviously in survival mode, I wouldn't be worrying about cameras. I realize I have to say it's a joke because some of y'all don't understand. You're boiling water with one. Yeah, there's that too. Actually, the thing is you can take that cup deal though and you put it right into the fire. Boiling water can actually take quite a while. So in my opinion, you just take the cup deal that I showed you earlier, or your canteen, just put it in the fire, right? Because you want the flames to go over it, and it will boil your water faster. There was something else I wanted to show you. Hold on. Let me just double check everything here. Ooh. I do have something else that's very important. Yeah. For shelter, if you don't have a tent and you don't have the money to buy like a really high-end fancy tarp, say hello to Painter's Plastic. This is the plastic that painters use to make sure that they don't get the house all messed up. And it's really tough plastic. This is a thicker version. I think it's the 0.3. I do have an even thinner version, which I'm gonna explain to you this setup right now. This is my shelter for my tarp. It's super big. This is like 20 feet by 20 feet. This thing. I mean, there's a lot here. This will protect me from the rain. It's not gonna protect me if a branch falls on me, but you know, that's up to the sticks I'm using to protect me. But for my tarp, I actually use this because it's so much tarp and it's so light. Then what I would do is I would use duct tape and I would duct tape it, and then I would put holes in the duct tape, and then I would tie that. Now this isn't going to be your super strong, you know, tarp, guys. There's better tarp. There's a tarp made of that, the bowl, the kitchen sink, there's tarps made of that stuff. If you can afford that, I'd get it, but you're talking about like $150 tarp. This is like $7. Yeah. There's a benefit to this though that I'm going to explain to you, which ties in with the thinner version. You guys can see here. This feels like garbage bag, but it's stronger. But it's not much stronger. It's like really strong garbage bag. Can you see how thin this is? You see how thin that is? This is the same, it's painter's tarp. This one is really thick though. You see the difference? See how much like you can't see through that one? Whereas this one you can like, it's totally, this is garbage bag, like thickness. This is like really a tarp. You hear the difference? Okay, this is important though. Check this out. Go and Google something called a lean-to, right? A lean-to. So you have wood that's at an angle and it's open, completely open on one side. So you have wood at an angle and then you have walls and the wood goes all the way down to the ground, basically, right? You put this over that wood. So the wood itself is the strength to protect you from hail, tree branches falling or anything like that. Anything that would be falling, debris that would be falling on you, but this keeps it waterproof so that you actually don't get wet. So this isn't going to be like this isn't going to be the strength to protect you. This is going to be just the water protection, okay? So that's what this is for. It goes over the wood that you would make for your lean-to. On the opening of your lean-to, this is going to be like this garbage bag version of this on the open part of your lean-to is going to take you from like a Motel 6 experience to like a Ritz-Carlton, okay? I'm gonna explain to you. You take this bad boy and you lace it in front of you on the opening. So this is like your door and it's super thin. You can see through it. So like if there's danger, like a bobcat or something like that, I can see through it, right? You can't really see, but I can see through it. This is double. That's double. That's how thin this stuff is. This is a double. Is it double? No, that's single. So see how thin that is? Like you can totally see my thumb through it, right? So this part is your door. So that drops in front of you, between you and the fire. But this is far enough away it's not gonna melt. But what it does is it traps the heat inside. The radiate heat will go through this, but it won't seep out, and it will become like an oven in there. I'm telling you, it's a night and day difference. Most people will not think of this idea, guys. In total, 15 bucks. $7, $5, Home Depot. 15, I can't math. It's all right. You get $13, $12, whatever. Instead of 150, $15. Let's just say 15 bucks with tax. Yeah, I was including tax. That's why my math is right, okay? So, protect from the rain, heat guard. Oh my goodness gracious. Now you put this bad boy in front of you, between you and your fire. It not only keeps the wind out, but traps the heat. And then you have this behind you, reflecting the heat. You literally just put yourself in a human oven. Survival. Oh my gosh, greatest idea ever, okay? I'd like to say I invented it, but I totally did not. It's another one of those bushcraft things that I learned. But how I put this together and for the dollar amount, that I give myself credit for. Yeah. Yeah. I'm all about making a buck go a distance. You get what I'm saying? So, very, very good. I knew there was something else I was forgetting. And then I really want to show you my other deal though. Is it in here? Ah. This is, ooh, what does this say? Okay. There's this wire, Hillman, made by Hillman, Hillman. This is 20 pound and it's really thin. This is the wire I have around that blue mini crowbar. And this can be used as trap wire. It comes in this spool like this, and it's very light. So trap wire. And then also for urban settings, people don't think about this, you guys, but Nathan does. Copper wire. If any of the things inside my solar panel deal go bad, I could copper wire fix it. Not only that, but I could use this also as trap wire, right? So copper wire for any kind of urban setting where I'm going to need electricity or I'm going to need stuff to do that. Also, bobby pins, very light. Look at how many I can have. I got these at the dollar store, right? I bent this bad boy in half just as it came, and I put it in another one of my little bags. You can always use a bobby pin for something. Break into a lock, who the heck knows. And then this is actual real, designed for, bought off the internet as, what's it called? Trap wire. So it comes on this spool, but it's very thin, and part of me doesn't trust it. But it's probably stronger than this stuff, but this is thicker. And if I want to use this instead of rope because it's stiffer, then I'll use this. So again, it's just a redundancy type of deal. You know, I think wire can have its uses out in the wild for sure. Mend things. Make a spear. You want to put like a copper, like a spearhead on and wire it instead of just use like a rope. I would agree with that. It's going to be stronger than rope, I think. Bank tar, remember that. Okay, there was one other thing I was very proud of. I wanted to show you. I just hope it's not. Oh, 2 more things. As I told you, it's going to be a long video, guys. Oh, 3 more things. Okay. 3 more things. Hold on. Is this it? It's like a Charlie Chaplin movie. Okay. Crank light. Yes. 4 more things. It works. You see? It works. Yeah. Not very bright, but man, you don't have to charge it, and you can crank it. And if you're bored and you're out in the wilderness and you have no friends and you're Nathan Wheeler and you talk to yourself anyways, you're just going to be like, you can make music with it. The wheels on the bus go. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can just do all sorts of fun things. It also has a clippy clip, so it goes right onto your backpack. Hold on, I'll show you. What is wrong with this thing? I just don't know. It has a clip, so it goes right on the outside of your backpack. It's not very bright at all, but you know what? If you need a little bit of light real quick and you don't want to burn through your cell phone, crank flashlight. Everybody should have one of these anyways. Truly, everybody should have one of those anyways. Okay. I hope I can find this thing. What is this? No, that's not it. I don't know if I can find it. I'm kind of bummed at myself if I can't find it. I thought it was in here. I must have taken it out because I actually used it. Hanging pods. Yeah. Well, I kind of showed that earlier. Love the singing in the wind. So funny. Welcome to being me. Carabiners, Velcro holder deals, ladies' hair deals, because if your hair is going to get long and you start to get the ponytail, even the guys, you're not going to always want your hair. Me personally, I take my razor and I'm going to keep my head shaved because hair also means bugs. This deal right here, for if you have a hammock, you can get these things. This little guy holds right here like 500 pounds, the silver one, right? I actually wrote on there, you see, I did my blue tape deal. It says 990 pounds. Yeah. I took my blue tape and I wrote on there 990. So that way I would trust that this little blue thing is gonna hold me if I need to go like scaling down a mountain or something crazy like that. Into bag with rope. Okay. That's not it. This isn't it. Oh, I showed you my day pack last time, but I'm just gonna show it to you guys again. Oh, there it is. I found it. Double redundancy, triple redundancy. Okay, hold on. Okay. So when I said battery bank, one bigger than this, but this is like my battery bank for, I'll get to it. I told you guys about a day pack. What is a day pack? Same thing as the kitchen sink. Remember this? Okay. I take this guy right here. This is a backpack. Straps, goes on my back. And it actually holds probably like 20 liters. So it's probably like 1/3 the size of this huge bag. But there's no back support whatsoever. However, I can take my deal with me and it'll give me some back support if I really want to. However, watch this. See the whole bag? Folds in. And then it has this deal just like the kitchen sink. This is crazy. I love this thing. I pull the string. it folds into itself. Watch this. This is so cool. That's my day pack. That goes inside my bag. And then I take this stuff with me if I go to get water, if I go to collect firewood. Like, people don't do this in the bushcraft videos that they make, but in a real survival situation, if you're going anywhere beyond like, if you're going as far as like a quarter-day trip walking away from your main camp, in my opinion, you want to take some form of this. You take your day pack, you undo it, and you throw certain things in it, like your fire starter in your hair gel container. What? Thought I was lying, didn't you? I wasn't lying. Fire starter in my hair gel. How many are in here? Funny you should ask. Oh my gosh. 11. 11 inside my hair gel deal. Fits perfectly. I could probably fit one more or two more in there if I wanted to. And 11 times 11 minutes. And this particular one, also made by the Outdoor folks, who my other bag is made with, it might have come together for all I know. I have no memory. I bought this stuff so long ago. Oh, and tweezers. You should have tweezers. Okay, so check this out. There's a little baby pocket at the top, which is where you should have like your, I need to get immediately bought, right? This is the day pack. Tweezers for sure should go in there. Fire for sure should go in there. I had pills for like headaches, diarrhea, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's a whole bunch. My charger, dental floss, because it could be string as well. Neosporin in case I get hurt. I can put it on. All you need is a little bit of duct tape, Neosporin. You got a Band-Aid. You're good to go. Okay, I also talked about a special tape that I prefer that you guys should get if you can find it. I don't know where to find it, to be honest. But if you can find it, I have some, and I want to show it to you. Give me a second. You should see my car. This is a total mess. Okay. Told you this was going to be a long video, but I'm giving you guys... Yeah, I have a Leatherman. Did I not show my Leatherman last time? Oh, I brought it this time. Here's my Leatherman. It's a Surge. This thing is a beast. And this also has a saw on it, a blade on it, scissors on it, a screwdriver on it, which will allow me to make this deal. Hold on, where'd it go? Where's my axe? I have no idea where anything is. I think it's on the ground. Hold on. All right, well, anyways, you remember the axe gooseneck deal? It has all those tools are in here. This whole thing has all that stuff in it. So that's pretty cool. And there's a saw blade on this bad boy. So yes, this would go into my carry. Like, this right here would be on me also, like all the time, or it would be in my day pack for sure. Showing you something else. Headlamp. Yes, it has batteries, but you can charge this off of the battery, the big battery bank that you put on your solar panel. And these have rechargeable, it uses one AA. So Amazon AA little batteries that I got, I take a charger with me that has a USB connector to charge. I plug it to my battery pack. I can charge these and I will have infinite headlight. It has an LCD or LED, whatever LED light on it. It's very bright. It only will last, at full brightness, it will probably last like 2 hours. But trust me, having a headlight is a necessity because you need both of your hands often using at night to do stuff. Like, especially, like, let's say you arrived at camp, it's nighttime because you didn't have a spot where you could have settled down. You don't want to build a fire, but you need light. And the little crank light thing, that's not enough light. You want to have your hands free. Pop this bad boy on. You can adjust it to stay whatever direction you want it to point. And this is good to have in an automobile, guys, in case you get a flat tire or whatever. Like, having a headlight is super important. But this particular one is very famous. It's called a Through Night, THRU NITE, and this is the TH20. Not expensive at all, but built very, very well. I have 2 of these, and I've never had any issues with them. I drop them, hopefully not that often, but I have, and still work. Now, when your battery gets low, it'll get all weird, like wiggly. It'll be like, I don't want to work. Sometimes if it's not screwed on all the way tight, it won't work. And here's another little thing. If you guys have one of these and you throw it in your backpack, don't put the battery in the right way. Put it in backwards during travel. So that way you don't accidentally hit the button and it burns while it's inside your backpack. Put it in backwards, and if everything is hitting your button along the road, your battery isn't dead when you arrive to your destination. That's the trick, because there's no like protecting off button protector deal. So you put it in backwards in the battery, but just remember that you do that. Like, that's a technique. Otherwise you're gonna think your battery's dead and you just put it in backwards. I did that. Okay, so there's that. Super important headlight. This one, there's not another one I'd recommend more than this. These things can go up to $110. You don't need to spend that much. I literally think, if my memory serves me correctly, I got this for like $25, $29, right? You don't need to spend $100 and something on these. This one is plenty good to light up whatever you need to light up, to do whatever you need to do in your survival-y situation. Please tell me I brought this. I packed it. I found it. I brought it. My goodness. This stuff, Coflex LF2 to the second power. Can you see that? Co Flex LF2 to the second power. I probably wouldn't get purple for myself. Maybe I would. I have no idea. But this stuff is amazing. It doesn't rip your hair off. There's no tapey to the human part of it at all. But if you had a bandage, it's way better than this stuff. This is like, you remember this stuff from like the 19 whatever? You get what I'm saying? This is like 2000 version, right? What you do with this is you wrap it around and it sticks to itself. But when you rip it off, there's no hair. You're not ripping off any skin. This is the greatest, weirdest, futuristic, tapey stuff ever. They use this in the medical field. So this stuff, I would take it out of the spool. This is so much waste of space. Or I'd squish it down, and then this would be what I have for bandages. Because water, it's all good. Look, it's stuck to itself, and you can reuse it. As long as you don't like over pull it and stretch it out, you could reuse this again and again and again and again. I mean, it will wear out eventually, but I've reused stuff like this before so many times. So this is the #1 bandage wrap tape, because you can reuse it. That is unbelievable, and it's better than the fabric stuff. And if it gets wet, look at how holy it is. Not like as in godly, but see how it's like a mesh. So it will get wet. It will stay wet for a while, but it dries comparatively much faster than the other stuff, which you want. And then it's not coming off. It sticks really well. Okay, it's good. Okay, get my point? Pretty awesome. Oh, day bag. So just put everything in there. You're good to go. You're gonna want that. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna want that. You don't want to carry this huge, ginormous, moose of a bag to go on your day trip with. You're not gonna want that. Is this what I think it is? No. There's one other thing I don't have that you guys should get. No, this isn't what I think it is. It just reminds me of it. There's one other thing I don't have you guys should get. Tourniquet. You can get these tourniquets that come, they'll look like this. It'll have like a thing where it's like a clip, and then it just pops off, and then the tourniquet comes out, and you have a cord, and then you just crank the bar, and then the bar will lock. And if you actually had to cut yourself, like if you cut yourself or you had like a wound and you needed a tourniquet to like sew yourself back up or all that kind of jazz, you're not gonna probably be conscious long enough to like, really sew yourself up at that moment. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna stop the bleeding immediately, and military tourniquets have these all it is you shove your arm, your leg, whatever it is, you wrap it around the limb of whatever it is, and then you just crank the bar until all the blood stops going, and then the bar just locks into place in a little locky deal, and it's this big, and they're a little bit expensive, but if I were you, I'd have at least one. It's a total lifesaver, and in my opinion, it should be on the outside of your bag or even on your hip if you're going on any kind of journey. So if I did like a day journey, I'd want my tourniquet somewhere on my belt, like accessible. You get what I mean? Or you can actually, like on these, you can have it on here. So I have my backpack on, and then it's right there, right? So I can access it real quick with at least one of my arms that hopefully is working. So that's where I would put my tourniquet if it was me. And I would get one if I were you. I don't have one because they're kind of expensive, and but I would get one before I went actually on like a real adventure kind of deal. I wouldn't probably go out until I got one. And I have garbage bags just because I don't know why. I could fill them with water. They're super light. I don't know why. I gotta be honest. I just feel like it's something that just works because these are the super light garbage bags. I could use it as a temporary shelter. Maybe I could put stuff in it, tie it up, keep it dry. I have no idea. But I added it in with the rest of the tarp deal that I showed you earlier. I think that's literally all I have with this setup that I think you would want to actually carry with you. Oh, tourniquets are in the bandage aisle? That's awesome. I did not know that. Okay. Let me see just real quick. No, I mean, I found them. Look at this. These are what I was talking about. Remember the little things? I said cut it in 3s. Look at this. This will last at least like 4 minutes, right? So I put it in an airborne. You know airborne? The stuff that you take when you go on airplanes? I put it in my airborne thing because it's watertight. I put this in here. There's 5 of them, which is 5 times 3. That's 15 minutes, right? Yeah, 15 minutes of dry time. That's huge. 15 minutes of dry time, 15 minutes of cooking. I lost the lid. 15 minutes of cooking time. That's amazing. So that's very, very good. And then you'll notice something else though. You'll notice something else. This was on the outside pocket of my fire bag, which means that this is my go-to like immediately. So this would go into the little pocket of this guy on my day trip for sure. If not even my pocket. And what I would do with this is it has my duct tape, my black Gorilla Tape. And why Gorilla Tape is like, I would be scared of being in a survival situation without Gorilla Tape. 2 reasons. If my tarp gets a hole, my ability to tie my tarp down, bandage a wound. This is definitely my first to go to bandage of a wound, or wrap my finger if I got a cut or something like that. There's so many uses for Gorilla Tape. It's very good at lighting fire as well. If I ripped off a chunk of this, split it into little hairs, and then kind of bundled it up like a bird's nest as well, that will light anything. It'll burn really well, bright for really strong for a while. So I could actually just light that directly with a lighter, or take one of these with a ferrocerium rod, light the cotton part, because it will definitely light the cotton part of the thing I showed you earlier with the wax on it, and then that will light the duct tape, and then the duct tape will light twigs. So I would not leave without this. This was the thing I was really looking for, and I wanted to show you guys how small it is. But one of those little sticks will light for like 3 minutes. It's crazy. So, and then most guys will show you something like this. It's an Altoid can. Most of these guys, I have a little candles in there with the jute, and then I have a lighter. And that goes in there, and then this also has a hole in it. You see how I poked a hole there? So what I would make with this is something called char cloth. And char cloth is really good if you have a flint and steel, which I don't currently have. But char cloth could also easily be lit with the ferrocerium rod. And then I have, again, just a rubber band-aid to keep, it's a rubber bandage kind of thing, inner tube material. It's very thick, very strong. This isn't inner tube, it was some kind of rubber thing. Luckily for me, I got off of some thing that I bought and it came with it. And I was like, oh my gosh. every survival kit should have one of those, and that's how I got mine. So I wouldn't know where to buy one if my life depended on it. But you can make it out of inner tube, bicycle inner tube. You can make it out of that as well if you want to make your own. And you should, because also rubber is unbelievably good at starting fires if you need it to. All right, so I think that's it, guys. I think that is it for everything that I have here now. This isn't everything, but it's everything that I would recommend you at least start getting your deal going. All these things. If I were to put it in order, it would go Fusarium rod, starting fire, obviously, knife, axe, saw, and then your little mug to boil water, or your can. You should have a whole canteen, like a 1 liter canteen. You should have a 32 ounce, in my opinion, 32 ounce canteen to boil water. That would be that. Cordage, you absolutely have to have cordage, whether you get tar bank tie, but you should have both, in my opinion. You should have the tar line, it's called bank tie or something like that. Just type in tarred rope, number 15 size, I think it is. But if you go to the Pathfinder school, he'll have it. It might be size 8 or size 15, but he'll have it on the school page. Whatever he says on the school page is the right one. My brain is blanking. And then of course paracord, and then some form of shelter, guys. Even if it's that $7 tarp from the painters, get the thickest painter deal, and then just roll it up as small as you can. And I put just tape around it or Velcro around it, and then that's how I keep it in my bag. And you guys should at least have that. With just that right there, you could at least survive long enough in the wilderness. And if you had to literally grab a bag and run out of your house, put some protein bars in there. I would recommend getting one of those water filters. I didn't show it to you this time, but I showed it to you on the last one. It's called, man, what is it called? A Sawyer. S-A-W-Y-E-R. Sawyer, like water straw deal. It's not the water life straw. It's a Sawyer water filter, and you put it on a water bottle or you put it on a bag. I do have the bags with me. Hold on. I just had it. Where did I put it? Well, definitely want to get that. Water filtration was definitely the other one. So those are the things that you guys should get right away. And I guess you'd have to have a backpack to put it in, and it's not like crazy amount of money. The other thing is, guys, is it doesn't matter if you have land, it doesn't matter if you have a house, it doesn't matter if you have an apartment complex. You should have a place where you, your family, your friends know of. Like, you should go camping, or you should go scouting into the woods, into the middle of nowhere, not a campsite where like people go to camp. I mean, like out in the middle of nowhere. You should have a spot that everybody knows how to get to, and everybody knows to go to that spot if anything should go down, and they know to come find you at that spot if anything goes down. Don't get attitude with me, Tree. And then your bag, and just have your bag ready by the door. And like some houses or apartments have like a closet right by the front door. What I do is I have it in a closet in the RV, but in my house, I had it right by my front door, ready, packed, and everything was ready to go. So if I ever needed to, I as you see, I have multiple sets of stuff. So I have a set that I carry with me in the car for certain things. I had a set that I carried I practiced with at home. It was like, I would use my own, there was a bag. It was like this kind of thing. I just had it in a bag in my closet, and I would use this to practice with. Around the house, making fires, you know, all that kind of stuff, just playing around. But my bag would always be ready, and it had everything in it ready. So I had like second stuff that I could play around with, right? Like the rope to make knots with, the fire making stuff. I had a second deal of it. And that way the bag was ready to go, just grab it and run. And then I still could practice. And then this was inside, my day bag was obviously inside my real bag. And that's how I did it, and that's what I recommend you guys do. And it's you're not looking at spending that much money, in my opinion. It's not like, considering you have the ability to survive, you're looking at maybe spending total, if you get a tent or a tarp, if you disclude the tent and tarp, you're looking at like maybe $300 for maybe $300, $350 to get like maybe everything. and then you throw the tent in there, and that just however much you want to spend on a tent or a tarp or a hammock. So yeah. So Pamara says, I keep one in my car and one in my truck too. See? Bam. All right, you guys. So I hope this was fun. I hope this was helpful. You guys have been asking me, you know, to make videos of what I have. And so this is the second or third video of this. And I hope that you guys liked it. Also, don't forget the nebulizer, which has nothing to do with like out in the wilderness survival. But if you have it, you should have it for in-home or apartment or whatever, RV, for like in-time craziness. If you want more riots, more coronavirus, the nebulizer could literally be a lifesaver. So there's that. All right, guys. If anything else comes to mind, or once I get more stuff myself, I'll make another video. And then eventually, when I'm not stuck in a truck, I'm actually going to make videos of me using all these things. So I'll actually make a video of me using the axe, sharpening the axe, using the knife, how to use the knife, making feather sticks, the Fiercerium rod, the water filter. I'll use all of it for you guys and make videos specifically for each thing, so that way you know, including the solar panel deal. I'll use that as well, so you guys can see all that as time goes on, and possibly as we do the tour. That's part of the things I'll probably be doing on the tour as well. So thank you guys very much for being here and watching the video, and your support of everything that we do. And I know this is different than normal Truth Me Free stuff, but you know, you guys asked for it. So most likely too, the videos I'll do where it's each individual thing, that's something more along the lines of the new channel I'm talking about. So it's more of like Nathan Wheeler, you know, hobby channel, whatever Nathan Wheeler's into kind of thing. So that way Truth Me Free can stay Truth Me Free. You get what I'm trying to say? All right, be blessed. Be the blessing. You guys have a great one, and we'll see you tomorrow. And you guys, because Alex was traveling and he's getting back tonight, late tonight, me and him never had a chance while he was on his trip with his wife, and I didn't want to bother him. It was kind of like, you know, probably honeymoon 2.0 kind of thing. And so we will probably just do a Q&A tomorrow at 1 p.m. We won't be able to do, but maybe we'll do me and Alex Q&A. So maybe there's that. Maybe we'll do that. So yeah, but we will not be able to probably cover Psalms tomorrow. I don't know, I have to talk to Alex. But I don't think we will. So be blessed, be the blessing, and I'll talk to you guys soon.